Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. We are going to watch the pre-race press conference of Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Let's watch it together.
Very warm welcome everybody to the drivers' press conference ahead of the FIA Formula One Sao Paulo Grand Prix. We have two groups coming your way. First group, closest to me, Franco Colapinto. Then we have Lewis Hamilton and Lance Stroll. And why don't we start with the honorary citizen of Brazil. Lewis, you're back in a country you love, at a circuit you love, where you've had a lot of success in the past. Just how excited are you ahead of this Grand Prix?
Good afternoon, everyone. I love coming here. I've been really excited about the trip and just getting back. Every opportunity I have to spend time here, you learn more about the culture. You are able to engage more. I know Center Foundation did an amazing event last night with all the great work that they're doing, and it's just the colors, it's Ayrton, it's the culture, the people. So you really vibe off that through the whole weekend.
Lewis, you say it's Ayrton. There's a very special thing happening on Saturday evening here. You're going to be driving his 1990 McLaren. How special is it for you to commemorate him here at Interlagos?
Well, I mean, every time we come here is an opportunity to do that. And I think so many of the drivers also do that. But I never in a million years thought I'd ever get to drive Senna's car here. So when I remember someone contacted me, my manager told me about it, and I jumped at the opportunity. I did, back in the day when I was at McLaren, I did get the chance to drive the MP44 around Silverstone, which was incredible. And but just the thought of driving that car around here, if you look at I remember the races where when he finally won here and held the flag, and yeah, it will definitely be quite an emotional experience, and I hope people are here to see it. I had a helmet made with his helmet made for me, but I don't know if we're using that one tomorrow. But I think the initial hope was for it to be a surprise. So I had a whole white suit and his helmet, and you'd go out and drive the lap, and it would just look like it was him out there. But somehow it got out there. It's impossible to keep things quiet.
Lewis, it's a manual gearbox. How's your heel and towing these days?
I'm always heel and towing. So I should be. No, it used to be really good when I was younger, and when I did the MP44, I was able to do it back then. It's something I miss. I wish we had that in Formula One. I mean, the two-pedal thing is just not exciting, and they need to bring back the H-box. It was awesome.
Look, let's bring it back to Mercedes now. What's happening this weekend? A sprint weekend. It was the best combined performance for the team since the summer break last weekend in Mexico. Just how confident are you of getting a good performance here?
Confident. I mean, it's been a very turbulent year. I think we always arrive with confidence and with a positive mental attitude, but the car is just, I don't know how I'm sure it's similar for the other drivers, but there's glimpses of hope, and then things swing back and forth, whether it's tires, whether it's the aero. So it's you never know what you're going to get. Always feel like Forrest Gump when I say that, but then it's I'm hoping the car. The last race was really positive for us in terms of the end result, but through the weekend was definitely with George's crash during the weekend, and then I started with a bad start of the race, but then got better towards the end. So there's definitely potential within the car, and we're always just looking to fine tune it and hope that we can extract more from it. And I'm hoping with the new surface track layout here, maybe a surface, maybe we can have a better race.
All right. Good luck. Enjoy it as well.
Sorry for interruption. I will be very short, and we will continue watch the video because of the YouTube rules. We must do this. If you just don't want to listen me, just skip this part that I am talking. Also, I'm going to be alone with you this race week because of the health problems of my friend. He will be alone. I hope he gets well soon. I saw he was very emotional to arrive to Brazil, looking for Lewis Hamilton, and he can't wait just to jump that car and to drive and to show to everyone his skills, his passion, how fast he is. But I need to say this. Let's hope Mercedes is not bringing updates on this race, because as we know on the other weeks, like they made Hamilton like a update tester. Let's say they were testing every single update on his car, and it was like he's struggling too much. He have confident for this spectacular Grand Prix, but we will see what will happen. It's like his second home, and it will be for him, let's say, a little bit more difficult and more passionate race, I think. And also, just don't forget to follow the channel for the second part. We will have also the second part of the Pires press conference.
Well, Lewis, thank you for that. Franco, coming to you now. Would you fancy a run in Senna's old McLaren?
I would. I'm not as good as Luis in the heel and toe part, but I would try to do my best.
All right.
No, it would be amazing, and I think it's an incredible opportunity that any driver in this world would love to have. Of course, Luis is the right person to get that chance, and to do it here in Interlagos in such a special year for Ayrton. It's, I think, a very unique moment for all the Brazilian fans, for Luis, for all of us, the drivers, to enjoy the moment together and keep doing this tribute to Ayrton, that he really deserves it. He was my idol and hero since I was very, very young. That's why I started to look at Formula One and, watching the movies, reading all the books on the history. And I think him being from South America, it's also a little bit more of a relationship to me, and how he got to Formula One and how he fought his pathway to where he arrived. And yeah, he's definitely a big inspiration for me, and it's going to be great to see his car going around here.
Well, Franco, we last had you in the press conference in Baku. You've now done 5 races in Formula One, 2 points finishes. Just sum it all up. How do you feel it's going?
It's going well. It's going well. Of course, the start in Baku, it went very well. We scored a few points with both cars. It was a very positive start. We come from a weekend that was a little bit more tough for myself. It was a very low grip track, very tricky with aero. The tires, they were not really cooling down, and I just struggled a little bit to find the best performance in qualifying. The race was really positive, and we had very good pace, so that was on point. But it was just qualifying was a bit tricky for me. Trying to find a bit better the balance of the car was very difficult to drive the car in quali, and just struggling a bit. But confident to come here. Of course, another track that I don't know, another sprint weekend in Austin, and I think we carry good momentum. Austin was points, and yeah, here more opportunities for 4 points again. So looking forward to it. Of course, my first time racing in Brazil, and to be so close to my hometown, to Argentina, it's very special. It's the closest race I'm gonna be having since I started racing. So it's gonna be a very unique one, and a track that has a lot of history and legacy in motorsport, so it's going to be great.
A lot of Argentine flags, I would have thought, in the grandstands as well. Thank you for that. Lance, let's come to you now. If there's a car from history that you'd like to drive, can you name one?
I mean, something from back in the day like that. So much lighter than what we're driving now. And yeah, I think that's already huge. Just remove a couple 100 kilos from what we're driving now, and it's a lot more fun. So yeah, something from back in that era.
All right. Well, look, what about this weekend?
He even can't drive these days technology cars, not that the old cars is like talking, something like just to answer it or something like that. That I think he is not possible to drive the old cars.
You had both you and Fernando had a good run here last year, 3rd and 5th in the Grand Prix. Does that give you some confidence coming into the weekend?
I mean, not really, because we're in a different situation to where we were last year. We had a good car here last year, so when the car's good, those results come. When the car's less competitive, it naturally just becomes harder for those results to come. So yeah, let's see though. It's a great track. I always enjoy coming here. It's got a great rhythm and flow, and it's a lot of fun to drive. So and maybe a bit of weather to mix things up, which always makes it interesting and presents opportunity.
All right, thank you for that. Let's now open this to the floor. We'll start with the broadcasters, please. Who's first?
Hello, this is Roldán Rodriguez from DAZN Spain. A question to Franco. Franco, you're doing amazing job with Williams. My question is, if you have the chance to race in other team for next season, do you think Williams is going to favor this situation?
Well, I think I shouldn't be the person asked about that. Of course, I don't know the answer, and I guess yes. I think if Williams cannot give me a race seat, I think the normal thing is that they allow me to go somewhere else and that they find the best opportunity for me for the future. But I'm not the right person to be asked. I should be the last one. I'm here with Williams this weekend, and I'm gonna try to do my best here in Brazil. It's a very exciting race, great atmosphere, and I cannot wait to be driving the Williams around Interlagos. So, look, it's I think for the future, and it will be great that it happens. I thought I was not gonna be racing F1 next year, and that's still my first view. So I don't really get too excited about whatever is they are talking around. But yeah, let's see.
So for him to have the seat for the next year, maybe in 2026, he is doing very well. It was like before him was Logan Sargent, and it was like for nowhere, but he's driving, let's say, perfectly. Also, he don't know this track. It will be his first time, but I believe that also on this track he will take maybe more points than before.
Thank you, Franco. Yep.
Yeah, Albert Fabregas, ESPN Latam. Also, following that for Franco, there's a lot of talks and rumors around your future in the paddock. How did you manage all these things? How do you that affects yourself when you're going on track? And which is your ideal situation? Where would you like to be next year?
I would like to be in Formula One. I came very late in the year, and I got an amazing opportunity by Williams, by James, Sven. Everyone in the team gave me a lot of trust, confidence to put me in that race seat. And I got an amazing chance that I was not expecting to get this year, and I try to do my best and have the best results possible to show that I deserve a seat here, and that's what I'm trying to show and to achieve. And if it's not next year, I hope that it's in 26 or 27. And yeah, just I'm not really having much pressure or anything like that. I'm trying to enjoy the moment, enjoy the opportunity that I've got. It was my dream since I was very little to drive a Formula One car, and now to be here doing these last 9 races, it's very special. So just enjoying.
Thank you. Yeah, another one.
Of course, you need to enjoy it.
Sky Sport Italy. A question to Lewis. Lewis, you have, I think, the great honor to drive this weekend the Senna's car. You were a McLaren driver. You won your first title with them in 2008. Are you keeping an eye on the fight between McLaren and Ferrari for the constructors? And are you thinking that it's a big shame not be in the game with your team this year?
Of course, that's what we would have all loved to have been in the fight for the championship. That's what everyone works towards. We knew at the beginning of the year it was going to be tough as soon as we hit the ground. And we didn't expect to also have some of the success we had. Obviously, Silverstone, everyone worked so hard to get that result, which I'm so incredibly grateful to the team for. But yeah, it definitely... I know this team so well, and I know that the result and the position we're in this year will just only fuel them even more to work harder to have a better car next year. And no, I'm not really watching much up ahead unless I'm like in the battle and or behind, like in the last race. I saw them for a second and then they were gone. Yeah, just focusing on trying to do the best job I can.
You are interested thinking about your future?
I'm very interested about my future, of course. And so, in that respect, keeping an eye, watching everything that happens.
Have you been very encouraged?
I'm not watching the fight, but I'm watching the fight because there is my future, and I think that the good signs from Ferrari, they are fast, also gives him hope for the 8th championship.
Bridged by the performances of Ferrari recently.
Of course, it's been through the year. At the beginning of the year, if you look at somewhere like maybe China already, but the Red Bull was like a second ahead, and it's been quite incredible to see the McLaren rise, and then Ferrari in the last few races, to see their progress, and just trying to keep an eye on everyone's car and what they're changing and what they're adding. And we all watch the video, all the drivers, we all watch the onboard laps, and we're always trying to see where we can gain time. And there's some cars that just react differently and better or worse in certain areas, and you're then trying to figure out how you can find that within either your balance or get the team to develop the car in that direction.
Thanks, Luis. Yep, another one, Diego.
Diego Mejia, Fox Sports Mexico. A question to Luis. You had the chance to battle Franco back in Baku. Just wanted to get your view on what he has done so far, and what you think about his chances for next year. I mean, how tough would be to not have him on the grid next year?
Well, I think he's done an incredible job. I think to last minute to be called upon and thrown into the deep end in this sport. Majority of us, if we're lucky to get in the sport, we have a bit of a run-up. If you look at, for example, young Kimi, for example, he's got a lot of test days before his first race. I think he will have over 20 days or something in the car, which is unprecedented. And as well for this guy here, he didn't have that. So he just jumped straight in and he did a fantastic job. And it was really great to, as I said in the race, it's always great to see young people and young talented individuals get the opportunity to come through and shine, and I think he did that in the first race. We had a great little battle and it was super safe. It was hard but fair, and I think he's earned his right to be here. There still is a seat available, and he's saying it's not for him to decide, but my advice would be to make sure that I would be pushing on my side to make sure, doing absolutely everything. And at the end of the day, he's got to just continue to focus on doing his job every weekend as he is. Hopefully he's got good people behind him who are doing the right job to make sure that he's here racing next year.
He's so proud with himself when Hamilton is talking about him, and he's so nervous. Just look at him, look at his hands, like, oh yeah, come on, Hamilton is talking to me, maybe like I'm a good driver. I really wanted to know what he was thinking on that moment, what was in his mind. Like, Lewis Hamilton, the hero, the legend of Formula One, is talking for you and giving advices to you. It would be very, very interesting if I would be there, of course, but I'm here.
Thank you, Lewis. Right, any more from the broadcasters? Yes.
Hello, Margot Lafitte, Canal+. Question for Lewis. You've been battling for many world titles, strong from that experience. What are your thoughts about the battle between Lando and Max? Your opinion on their assets and their strengths, both of them?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I think it's really exciting for the sport, firstly, to the last couple of years, not necessarily so exciting, obviously, with Max just leading the way, and that sometimes happens. But I think it's been really exciting for the fans to see that it can go right down to the wire at the end of the year. There's still a possibility of Lando catching up. I read somewhere I think he's got to get 11 points more or something in each race or something over these next races, which is definitely possible with the performance they have. I mean, we all know Max and his strengths, and can't really say too many weaknesses, if any. And you've got obviously Lando, who's really rose to the occasion and has been really leading the team. And I haven't really spent too much time looking at how they're racing and how they're positioning the cars. Obviously, everyone knows of what happened in the last race or the last two races, but everyone will have opinion on it. But at the end of the day, those two are the drivers. They know what they're doing. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what happens over these next races, and I'm just hoping that I can at least have a good seat view to watch it all as they'll be ahead.
Yeah, like it was very interesting press conference. They had the talks a lot of with Franco Colapinto, with Hamilton. As we know, Lance Stroll was not talking about too much, as he gave his opinion about the driving the old cars. Also, Lewis Hamilton said about that, like, but they are not bringing the pure V8s, not to bring back that H gearbox, but as a Formula 1, I hope maybe one day they will make like any race with that all the cars, like show something. But I don't think so that will be happen. Also, there was many questions about Franco Colapinto's future. Is he under pressure or something like that? But as I saw, he's under pressure, but he don't want to show that pressure that he has. Of course, I think it's so normal to think non-stop that and to dream that to have a Formula 1 seat, to be in a Formula 1 team for the next year. But it's too hard for him to achieve that for the next year. But it's nothing on this sport is like nothing is impossible, and the rumors about the drivers, they are never stopping, and we have every single week we have like new rumors, new something, talks between the drivers, etc. But it will be this week. It will be like I think it will be very interesting for the Hamilton, for the Colapinto. He's first time on this track. Let's hope to have a good race, good sprints, good qualifying, and to enjoy these last races that we are going to watch as a Formula 1 fans. I think it will be also this week. It will be interesting, not to race, also behind the scenes of the the shows that they are going to make. And that's it on my side. We will be with you together with the second part of the press conference. Just don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like and comment this video. See you on other videos.